Hey guys, my name is Ryan. We're back again with another Spirit Island video. About a month ago, I did a branch and claw game where I played base Fangs, base Keeper, and then I went up against France. And so now that we have an aspect released for both of these spirits, it's time to run it back again, this time with the aspects, so we can compare how the base versions play relative to the aspect versions. I have the same board, same setup as last time. Let's give it a whirl. You know, the thing that's kind of funny, if you think about these two spirits relative to each other, in their base versions, the Sharp Fangs is the more aggressive one, and Keeper is the slower, more controlling one. However, in these aspect versions, I feel like those roles are reversed. We're now unconstrained because you start with less beasts and you just have a slower beginning of the game overall. It's you're no longer the aggressive guy right now. You're kind of the control player. And then meanwhile, on the other hand, we have the most aggressive growth option of all of them coming out of Hostility Keeper. So it's just really funny to me how things are not quite what they seem. So with that being said, I mean we can already see immediately how things would be playing out differently if we had Sharp Fangs here on A. Then we would have a beast here in the 8. We could add a beast and transform it and kill the town fast, and then we could just do it again next turn, right? We just use our left and 8 2 turns in a row and keep killing the town, and then life goes on from there, right? Play the rest of our cards with text that do things. But here, that is no longer possible. We have to get a little more creative, right? We don't have an adjacent beast. We can't use Prey on the Builders. So we could do like a terrifying chase, but then you're left with a city. So what do you do with that city? It's kind of unclear. As far as Keeper goes, we can still do the same option that you would do, like, the Sun, Power card, gain an energy. But and this time I am considering doing it. We could do a G4 just to kill the Explorer here in the 3. But I'm also taking a look at the Sacrosanct Wilderness as a potential card, right? We could use our right and 8 to kick this Explorer out, add a Wilds here at Sacrosanct Wilderness, kill the town, and go from there. Yeah, so overall, what do I aspire to do? Instead of, we could like add a presence and then split our presence 2 different ways and kill this guy off. Might not be a bad idea, because then we can wilds here, or well, it's France, so we can't go anywhere. But we could, if we got mountains, right, we could hit this. If we hit mountains, we could hit this. If we put a presence here, then we could also hit this for wetlands. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I do actually like that a lot better. Question is just, what do we do for this first turn? I think we just go for the Boon of Growing Power. So we can go here, here, and kill you, and then just go for a boon. Ooh, Quicken the Earth Struggle. That is a way to deal with land number 8. And what's interesting with Quicken, we could Terrifying Chase these Dahan and this town all into land number 8, and then defend it with a Quicken the Earth Struggle. That would be very interesting. Be a very interesting line to take. Sear Anger is unfortunate. That's the exact kind of card that Keeper loves. I mean, I guess we don't hate it either. But yeah, we got a lot of good choices here. Mesmerize Tranquility ain't going to cut it against France. Mez is great when you don't get multiple buildings, and France will always have multiple buildings in a Ravage. Constancy's cool. I mean, it's always fun to find reasons not to take Constancy and just play cards that have text that affect the board. I am very interested in doing this quicken play because if we can make it work for ourselves, then we could create a little bit of a pocket and just have a really, really fun opener. So if we did this, terrifying chase, and then like a teeth gleam. Yeah, prey on the builders doesn't make any sense. I mean, I guess one option that we could do, right? There's another option, is we just use our innate to bring this beast over here, prey on the builders to deny the build, terrifying chase to kick it out, and then that leaves us the ability to go for a 2 near plus teeth gleam on a future turn, and maybe set up. Maybe we kick both of these guys into the sands and then set up for a quicken here in the sands. That might be better. Probably just take a blight here in C1. And we're not going to travel just because we're going to struggle. That's what the really tricky thing with A is that this A1, there is no adjacency to a jungle, so it's hard to get beasts here. And so I do find myself just leaving my presence there, just so that way we can... France, add a town to it. Oh, because of the city. Sure. Okay, we got the mountains. Great. That means we have our game plan with land number 7. Go here. Push you out. Terrifying chase you out. Do I boon self or do I boon Fangs? So on my next turn over here, right, we're just going to kill this town, and then we're going to get some presence movement. Maybe we kick this explorer out a different direction. Maybe we kick it out towards the 5. Yeah, kick it out towards the 5, so that way we can sacrosanct this land without having to commit our presence to it. Yeah. Come here. Just commit to that game plan. I think we're going to assault target just because Fangs does a perfectly fine job of drafting cards themselves. And what do we get? Call to Ferocity. Razor Sharp Undergrowth could be an interesting one. We can certainly find uses for it. And just having more ways to add wilds is pretty nice. Wilds are very strong in this matchup. All the rest of these cards aren't the most amazing. Call to Ferocity could be something. I mean, I guess it gives us pushes in land number 3. So we could push the Explorer Town from 3 into land number 7, perhaps. And make that just like a big old death land. Problem with the big old death land is you have to make sure that it doesn't build and kill you. So if I were to do that, I'd have to play it on this next turn. So what are we doing on our next turn? Could do a Call to Ferocity. And that would be 2 suns. And then we could do a plant from like Regrow from Roots. Is a perfectly fine play, holding on to the Sacrosanct Wilderness to use in land number 8. I don't have an issue with that line. Portents of Disasters is a funny one, because we do all of our killing in the Spirit phase, which is before Portents can come down, so we don't really get to make use of the effect. Okay, and then we will go boom and boom. Okay, just one plant short of the right innate. But yeah, the idea is, even if we don't get a wetlands, like it's going to be either wetlands or sands, right? If it is wetlands, then, you know, we just write innate, sacrosanct here. And we do the same exact thing because then in the sands, we can just make a sacred site and deal some damage. And then the sands are just clean solved. Over here for Sharp Fangs, have some work to do. Ooh, Carapace Land. Golly, it's one of the best cards for us that we could ask for. Do we have range to get over there? It's 3 range. 1, 2, 3. We could take Carapace Land. We have to play a Quicken if we wanted to make that defense. I mean, I think we snap take this no matter what. The only one that it competes with is Entrancing Apparitions, just to fully deny land number 6. But, yeah, this card's real good. And we could just plan to do like a Carapace plus Quicken on our next turn, or Carapace plus anything on our next turn. Yeah, we'll come down here and just play these two. Just be a little more economical with it. Okay, no pocketing, that's fine. We don't have any pockets yet. Over here becomes a whoops. Okay. Kill a town. Over here, kill an explorer and a Dahan. And then we get a little bit of fear. Ooh. So it's really unfortunate, actually, that we can't pocket this turn, because now we can pocket. It's actively bad for us to transform the 8, because it'll just... because then we can't use our right and 8 and stuff in there to add a wild. Here in land number 1, it will make it into... So let's see, we'd be adding from 1 town to adding 2 towns, right? Because we'd end with 3. So it would be plus 1 town or plus 2 towns here. I think we definitely hit C1 just because it's going to be inactive for a little bit. I think I'm fine with hitting A1 as well. Keep our problems contained. Considering we have a Quicken, we're really good at dealing with bigger problems in single lands. Okay, we get the sands. All right. France 6 where? Okay. 2 near the jungle. That's pretty straightforward. Teeth gleam there. So now we can kill town, and then we can defend with a Quicken. And then this Call to Ferocity kicks out an Explorer and Town, so we can just push them. Oh, I don't have range and targeting. Oh, no. Oh, golly. Gee willikers. Okay. Then, in that case... There's no point going here with it. We could go here with it. Huh. Well, now that puts me in a bit of a conundrum. What do I do here? I will... Maybe I just do some Dahan movement, some gathering of Dahan. But I'm not a huge fan of that. Maybe we just bail on the 3, and we just do this. Wow, that's a big oversight from me. I can blame it on the 3D. No need to take responsibility for my own decisions. Alright, let's gain a card. Ooh, Domesticated Animals Go Berserk. Just getting all the defend cards over here for Unconstrained. being able, and we also have plenty of moon cards, so we can actually start adding beasts with it. Inflame the Fires of Life, though, is always one of my favorite ones to go with Sharp Fangs, just because it's a completely free threshold. We use every single element on it, and it hits every single one of our elements on the whole card. The whole effect is really nice, and here against France, it's particularly good. I think we just play it this turn, right? Because we can make a Sacred Site for that Quicken. And we'll be able to, use it, threshold it in the 4 for a Slaves Rebellion. Yeah, it just makes a lot of sense to me. The only tricky thing is the price. Because we're down to 1 energy for the turn. So if we want to play 3 cards, it would have to be 2 Near and Carapist plus 1 other card, which supposedly would be Quicken or Struggle. Without the Quicken, then the Carapace doesn't become very good. That's my only source of Earth. Curious. We could do 1 damage to all of these, bring in a beast, ping those. I could add 2 beasts here, so we quicken to damage everything in the 1. And then we kill the whole land with our left innate, and then we Carapace land to defend land number 6. It's not a bad way to go. Yeah, that'll full clear the land, and that'll put me in a decent position. I can spread my presence out a little bit. Okay. And over here for Keeper, I know I want to play the Sacrosanct Wilderness. And I know I know basically what I'm going to be doing. So we'll just come here, kick you in, come here, dealing damage. And then we can move our presence. Let's see. We need to keep 1 presence here for targeting at land number 8. I definitely want to get here and want to make a Sacred Site somewhere. Maybe I do this. And then just chomp down on land number 1. Okay, great. We got our pocket built. We quicken for damage. Come in here, kill everything. Beast. Beast. Presence. Presence. Carapace land. Okay, advance the invader card. Do a build step for a terrain. Ooh, dangerous. Good thing our wetlands are basically clear. Ooh, free beast damage. 2 damage in every land with beast. That's really big. We're going to choose not to kill the town here, so that way we don't lose the beast token. Mountain or Sands gets a free Dahan. So yeah, we'll double it up over here in A6. And there is no coastal Dahan with invaders, so what are you going to do? Okay, now we're back to the mountains. And it looks like the A6 was actually pocketed. That's fantastic for us. So the more aggressive line that we took with this Quicken is paying off in dividends right now. Let's see. We'll go to this land that's about to die, and we'll go to this beast land. Okay, we still have 7 towns on the pool, so we're in a very comfortable position. We're going to build in the wetlands, which will consume a disease, and build 1 town. Okay, Too Near the Jungle and Towering Wrath. And, oh, I get 2 damage to remove a beast as well. It's always worth doing the right innate. It might feel bad to remove a beast, but if you think about it, your beasts with your left innate are doing 1 damage per turn. So it takes 2 whole turns to break even with that right innate, 3 turns before you're ahead. And so right now we're on turn 3. It's not going to pay off, and we're not going to be ahead of the game until turn 6. And by killing this town now, that gets us so much momentum that, it's always going to be worth it. For Too Near, I think we go here, killing off that explorer, denying a town from existing. And then for this Towering Wrath, we really don't have a lot of places it can go, right? We can kill 3 explorers in C1, 2 explorers in C2, which is obviously worse. We can, because it kills all Dahan, it makes no sense to kill the town in C5. So it's not sexy, it's not the most amazing thing for 3 energy, but we're going to kill 3 explorers. And last, but certainly not least, we're going to add another Wilds into land number 7. So we can Sacrosanct Wilderness on Reclaim. Let's see. Then we want to go up here, get some Dahan moving. We just need to play the Sacrosanct Wilderness, and then this land number 3 is going to be a tough one for us to handle. This is also the Slaves' Rebellion turn. So maybe I want to play things slightly differently. Let's think about this for a second. Because we can... we reclaim in every situation, right? Because we got no cards in hand, and we add a presence, most likely. But don't have to. If we make a Sacred Site here, there's actually no adjacent town for us to hit. I guess we have a free town kill in C5. And we'll hit A7. But I am open to the thought of using our Growth 4, moving our Sacred Site up, kicking some Dahan over to pick off the 7, but then we just have a whole bunch of Dahan stranded out in the middle of nowhere. And if we choose to take that line, then Sacrosanct Wilderness doesn't really have a place to go. Yeah, this isn't looking amazing, but I'm going to kick these Dahan over to A2 instead of wherever I had it previously. So Sacrosanct Wilderness, and then we will probably Boon of Growing Power. But let's see, Towering Wrath could be good. We're very strong in the coastal jungles. We got sands, we have nothing in the wetlands. Probably just go for a Boon of Growing Power and prepare for whatever comes up next. As far as Sharp Fangs goes, we do have the ability to reclaim 1. Getting Quicken to hit in land number 7 is going to be a challenging task. Mostly because we can't. Because how will we get 2 beasts? If we get 2 beasts into this land, we'd be okay, right? But we don't have any beasts adjacent. Now, if this was base, I'd add a presence to the 8, transform it into a beast, gather beast into the 8, 2 beasts go to land number 7, and then we're good. But because we already dropped our beast for the turn, we have none prepared, now land number 7 has nothing going for it. What I could do is use Carapace Land with its +1 range to defend, but that will be defending for 3 against 8. You know, don't math too well. So perhaps the best line is just to ignore it and then play proactively, because this land number 3 is going to turn into an issue. So that's what I'm going to do. Elusive Ambush. Is Elusive Ambush a viable card here, right? Because it'll be defender for 4 against 8 with 3 Dahan. So only 1 Dahan survives in counterattacks. Maybe that's not the best. Nature's Connection is interesting. Just good to, in this specific turn, we can provide fire for Keeper. But, it's just a good card that provides a lot of value for a lot of reasons. Since we're going bottom track, Nature's Connection is much easier to play, and it's just a great card in general, so I think we're going to take that. And then we'll hit this Reclaim 1. So we could do something like this. Maybe we reclaim and play 2 near the jungle, so that way we can reclaim all next turn, though we won't have to. In fact, next turn we could just do gain 3 energy, add a presence, play 4 cards, which will allow us to do a full reclaim the turn thereafter. Nature Connection, we give ourselves an animal, allows us to kill more things. I'm okay with this, though the C3 is quite scary. At least, though, we'll be able to... For C3, we will be able to defend it with the Quicken next turn, right? Because we can go Beast, here, here. Do we play this Call to Ferocity? In order to get Dahan into land number 3 such that our Quicken becomes a viable play. I think so. I think this is probably better. And then we can just NC for plant and we wind up in the same situation. Okay, and then we Sacrosanct for damage. Slaves Rebellion. Boom and boom. Okay, kill off those 2 towns. Get a little bit of free fear, free Dahan. Hope for a sweet event and fear card. No relevant beast pushes. I want to keep that guy there. We get fear for Dahan and City, so that'll be 2 fear. But yeah, I don't see any reason to push anything. Okay. Yeah, 2 fear. Alright. Oh, 4 fear. Alright, 1 fear card. Replace a town with an explorer. Well, that's going to go right back to being a town, because it's France. Okay, jungles. Well, we're very strong in the jungles, and so we can escalate into the coastal jungles where we have the sacred site. That seems sensible to me. Call to Ferocity. We are once again not in range, because I did not learn my lessons from last time. Golly. Why, oh why, do I not learn my lessons? Okay. Well, that's very frustrating. We can still just move a sacred site in and kick Dahan in, right? So we'll still be able to get it done. It's just really frustrating that such a mistake keeps getting made. Okay. Yeah, we definitely kill this beast to pick off 2 explorers. We can too near the jungle to make the land completely empty. Inflame the fires of life over here. And then last but certainly not least, we can drop a wild. We have 3 sun, but we can drop a wild here, kicking that explorer into the Badlands. Okay. We'll do damage here, make that land empty. We'll move 1, and now we can reach this land. I think I'm fine with all of this, so we'll just not move a second time. Adding a presence here into the 2 in order to kick all of these Dahan out. Boon and Regrow will give me my innate, but then if we throw a Towering Wrath in there, then we get a lot more damage. Now it becomes a 5 damage innate, which will do plenty to fully clear out C2. Okay. Over here for Sharp Fangs, we're going to gain energy. We're going to reclaim this Quicken. And we're going to add a presence just out here, just camping out in all the jungles. It's funny, we don't get damage from our left innate, but we also don't care. It just doesn't matter. So we can just come here and then push 2 beasts over, quicken to defend. We can preserve this disease by gathering up the prey and the builders. And yeah, we're sitting pretty cozy. Okay, build a town here. If we build a city here, it'll go up to 11 damage, which is fine, because we're going to bring in an extra Dahan. So it's going to wind up kicking it down to like just a single city. Or I could build in C2, where I probably am going to be doing all of my damage for the turn anyways. So yeah, let's build there. Because I have 6 towns to play with, and I'm very comfortable. Okay, we're not building, and if we kick these 2 explorers out, then we are also not threatening anything. Over here, we want to leave everything in that 1 beast land, so we'll skip. And then we gather in to defend. Might as well gather that way too. Alright, the sands. Turning into an issue. Once again, this time we have to deal with it. Okay. Ooh, we don't have the ability to split our damage. It would be nice to just clean up the 6 and then do the rest here in the 2. But we cannot. We can still do this little thing, right? That feels like Keeper's core pattern. Yeah, so we'll just invest all our resources here into C2. So come here, dealing 5 damage, which turns into 6. And the Towering Wrath turns into 3 damage, which will kill off that city. So we're at 5 total cards right now for Keeper. And we're on 3 card plays, which means that if we want to be effective, we have to draft. Like this next turn we want to reclaim, right? And we want to add present, sure, right? But then we have to draft in order to maintain effectiveness. By giving ourselves this boon, it gives us the choice. So we don't have to draft. And there are some good choices here. Pact to the Joint Hunt could be interesting. Voracious Growth, Shore Seas are all interesting. I think I'm going to go Voracious Growth. Seems very flexible to me. Okay, so I'm going to Terrifying Chase, kick these towns out. Now land number 8 won't blight. Over here, we're going to be building 2 towns. Over here, we're going to be building 2 towns. And this will be 2 more towns, right? That's 6 towns, which puts us at 1 in the pool. With escalation, we could lose. So we're not completely out of the woods. So I think I'm going to Teeth Gleam. And then immediately... Ooh, it's 3 damage. Yeah, there's so few beasts on the board, actually. Not a lot of choices. Yeah, we're going to come here, and we're still going to kill Town Explorer. So now we can let everything freely build. I mean, we're not going to want to do that, but we could. And escalate, and we'll still be okay. We could get Coast, but it's either Coast or Wetlands. Either way, A2 will be active, and C5 could be active. So let's see. Got 2 beasts prepared, which isn't enough for land number 7, right? We could damage all the buildings. I think on our next turn, we're going to want to use our G4 so we can move our Sacred Site over so that we can counterattack, defend land number 7 with Fangs. So this turn, because we reclaim, we need to play a fire card, and Call to Ferocity is good in case we get the wetlands. We can escalate here in the 5 and then just kick the town out. We can Sacrosanct to kill this town in the 6. And then we have 1 more card. I don't see any Blight to be removed. So maybe we'll just play a Voracious Growth. We guarantee that A2 is going to come up, right? So there's value to be had there. Ooh, Call to Isolation, Roiling Bog. Roiling Bog's not bad. Call to ISO, though. Could Call to ISO be cool? Call to ISO could be cool. Yeah, let's take that. And we're only going to be on 1 energy for the turn. We do have 4 0-cost cards. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards total. So we could just go for play 5 cards 2 turns in a row. It was called to isolation. And what was the other 0 cost that we were just offered? If we choose to go that route, a Roiling Bog. If we go Roiling Bog, we ISO the 7 perhaps. But we're looking at either a wetlands or a coast. So really we'd want to ISO like A5. Which, hey, if it works out, that'd be really nice. Yeah, that has a higher potential. So let's go there. And we kind of have presence everywhere that we want it. Just make a sacred site. Oh, we can't even grow there. Yeah, I guess we'll make a sacred site there. Alright, let's play all our 0 costs. Boom, 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 boom. And then we get 1 cost to play. If it is a fire animal, then we can NC give ourselves an animal. That'll give ourselves the beast. So we could do like a prey on the builders. I think it's going to be this Inflame the Fires of Life. Because this land over here is going to be huge. And I think we're going to wind up needing to strike that city. Because we're going to be building a city and 2 towns. So it's going to be 10, 16, 17. Strife it down to 14. And then we use the beast to kill. We kill with the beast. And that will get it to 11. Sure. Goes down to 11 damage. Defend it for 10. 8 with all that to Han. That'll get us there. Carapace Land is doing literally... Oh, it gives me an element. I was going to say it does literally nothing, but it doesn't do, like, literally nothing. It does figuratively nothing. As far as Keeper goes... What do we want to play? You know, I think actually the best thing to do is just NC Self for 2 energy. Because Keeper's great. They're chilling. They're having everything they want. It's only Fangs that's kind of struggling here. So let's see. We'll Carapace Land you. And... then we do this, killing you, bringing you over. Oh, okay, there is a town here. Could just go to the 4 and then just stop, right? That's fine, because it's strifed, so it's fine. Choose a land with disease. We have no... Oh, we do have a disease on the board. Okay. Alright, kills an explorer. And then defend per Han. Okay. Ooh, this disease is not a source of invaders. Okay, removing an explorer town from land with presence. So right now, we're going to be making 6 towns. We have 9 in the pool, so we're safe. We don't have to remove this town. But it makes it easier if we do. Because if we remove this town, then we're going to be looking at 8 plus 6 is 14, 15? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus 6 is 15. Yeah, we have to remove this town. And if we remove this town, it goes down to 13. But if we're at 15, we might wind up just using reclaiming and playing Carapace Land again anyways here, but I'm kind of hoping to go here. I'll get rid of the one out of the 2. So that way now my G4 just cleans up the land. We get the wetlands. Do I want to blight? No, I don't. So I guess we have to go there. Hmm. Huh. Let's see. This is tricky. I don't want to remove the beast here so I can just grow in and don't have to do any crazy trickery in order to make it work. Go too near here. Yeah, pick off one of those guys. We can Voracious Growth, kill two of them, and then go here, and then kick out one Explorer. And now the wetlands are completely solved. Sands are solved. It's a one-board game. Yeah. Yeah, this is where I want to be. I don't actually have like enough beasts to remove anymore. I guess what I could do, right, is I could just kill a city and then drop some beasts in here with... I have 3 prepared beasts, so drop some in and then grow into the land. That's a fine way to do it, right? Because right now we're sitting on 15 damage. So if we kill the city right now... Or it's only going to kill a town, so it goes down to 13 damage. And then we can left innate to kick it down even more. So yeah, we do go here, killing town. Let's go energy. Let's go add beasts here. And then we'll go there. But hold on. I need to defend the 4 with my Carapace land. Yeah, this goes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We reclaim you. We reclaim... Probably just NC. So I go here like so. I could also get back to Roiling Bog, right? Because now we're currently looking at 13 damage. So we could Roiling Bog, that gets me 12 defense, and then I can left innate something else to get a beast into this land so I can hit it with the Carapace land. Okay, so instead of the NC, we will undo. So let's get back Roiling Bog and Carapace land. What do we not need? Probably this terrifying... probably the Prey on the Builders. Yeah, we're in a really comfortable state. So yeah, Prey on the Builders, we don't need it. Okay. Over here... Go 1, 2, kicking in all of these guys. And, we can even grow here and kick these Dahan into the 4, and that'll just be a beautiful thing. Let's just kill that Explorer. And then, yeah, we'll grow here. We got 3 cards that we can play, so we'll just go top track. Play the Grip. Yeah, let's get right to it. So, okay, defend 10. Roiling Bog. We can... Oh, I did my damage here. Hold on, let's undo my growth options. Because, yeah, we can full clear A2 right now if we just did things a little bit differently. So, if we undo our growths, which this used to be bugged. You used to not be able to undo this. And, like, yesterday, as of the time I'm recording, they fixed that. So, thankfully, that happened. Okay, so what I want to do instead is I'm going to grow here, kick these guys over first, and then when I G4, because I there's 4 HP, so I do 2 damage now, and then one beast coming in will do 2 damage. There we go. Now, everything's going to be Dahan defended, and there's only going to be one single active land. It's going to be... Basically, we're going to have crossed that line, and then it's going to be just formalities in order to close the game out. Alright, we got there. So yeah, we come on in. Bring in this. We, sure, why not move a presence? Live a little. We can Roiling Bog. We can Carapace Land. We can Quicken Your Struggle. Bonus health. That is not what I wanted. This is going to make it harder to kill things. Now we're only killing, instead of killing like 6 towns, we're killing 4. Okay, Strafe in a land with Dahan. Not going to do a heck of a lot. Yeah, there's not really any lands we can choose to use it in. We'll just put everything on that one city, so that way after the Strife it survives. Or the Strife kicks around. It's alright, killing a few towns. Now we really can't lose to town count. You know, we really just got to go through the motions and get it done. The only tricky thing is that, of course, with all of these explorers, things can really start to go wrong. But hey, that's just France things. Okay, we'll go here and here. Adding them to the non-wilds lands. Okay, I could kill the city right now by removing that beast. That's not a bad idea. Teeth Gleam here. Terrifying Chase. Kicking everything out into this jungles. Maybe I just kill these explorers here and just shrink the board a little more. There is no blight for me to remove with regrow from roots, but that's okay. We have a 5 damage innate that we can break up as we see fit. So let's go and just clear our coast. Solve 2 lands nice and clean. Regrow, don't really matter. We can remove these beasts. And now board C is basically completely empty. We can now focus on things that matter. Towering Roots gets to do more than 2 damage for once. That's cool. We'll kill... We could kill 5 explorers or town in 2. We'll kill 5 explorers. It makes me feel perturbed to have to play around that extra health. And let's see, Boon of Growing Power. Do we want to give a major over to Sharp Fangs? Why not? This Roiling Bog suddenly sucks. So, yeah. It's one that's definitely viable to forget. Walls of Rock and Thorn. Coming into the Mountain Jungle Stage 3. It's kind of hard to say no to that one. Solidify Echoes. We have no destroyed presence. Strangling Firevine is pretty wild over here. Maybe we could even make it work over here, too. Yeah, it's definitely between Strangling Firevine and Walls of Rock and Thorn. We are going into the next Slaves Rebellion, by the way. So obviously it's not going to do anything on C. But over here on A, we get to kill a town, strife these two cities, and then all those things die. And we're already in terror level 3, so really, this is a one-city game. If we can kill this one city, we win. And unfortunately, we don't have a city in a place that these majors will solve. Now that I'm seeing this line, I really don't want to go through the clicks, but if I could undo exactly this spreading wilds and drop this wilds token here, then we would win. Because we could Sacrosanct Wilderness, right, Sacred Site comes in, Sacrosanct Wilderness, GG. But instead, we'll take the walls of Rock and Thorn, but not really. Oh, wait, I haven't used this power yet. Okay, great, we just win. Awesome. I thought I hadn't used that. Great. So yeah, we'll just go here, go slide, slide. Doing damage. Kill town. Reclaim all. And then Sacrosanct Wilderness. Plus whatever. And then Slaves Rebellion takes us the rest of the way home. Yeah, so I guess Sharp Fangs doesn't have to do anything. Maybe just try and pulling a new major. See if you get something cool. Like a Power Storm. Power Storm is very cool. But yeah, we just get to chill, hang out, finish the game with a nice little slap around of cards. Doing anything that you want. Don't really matter. And that's a good game. So yeah, let's go MC over here for energy. Giving ourselves an animal. Power Storm, I don't know, ourself. Sacrosanct. Dealing damage, killing the city. And life is good. Alright, Slaves Rebellion. We get to just kill a town. Let's kill you. And then we can go strife, strife. All the cities die. Get some more free to Han. And bam! Terror level 3 victory in the books. If we didn't hit that, we were building something like 10 towns that turn. If you don't win on the second Slaves Rebellion, things get really hard really, really fast. But that is the game, right? That is the new version of these spirits with the branch and claw setup. It's pretty funny how this plays out exactly the opposite of the base version, right? The base version, Keeper has the big board, Sharp Fangs has the empty board. Here was the complete opposite. One single explorer left on all of Keeper stuff. So yeah, I'm actually really enjoying this new version of Keeper. Really, really happy for him. Anyways, that's all for me today. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and have yourselves a glorious day.